This is JB McConville, aka J Business. I don't have any allegiance, I'm just looking for the money. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
I tell you what, Mr. McConville had himself a hot take this weekend on the DU page.
Yeah, he did. He's a dickhead for it.
We're going to get into that in a little bit. You
Yes,
know that,
we
right?
will. Yes, we will.
So, J Business, with all that being said, let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and sitting right across the table from me with his big, fat, shiny face in person,
yes,
Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, it is lovely to see you again, my friend.
it is lovely to hear that in person
I know.
for once.
Finally hear the song.
Yes, while we're doing it.
Yeah, know what we're actually doing, all the sound drops and everything, because normally in Zoom land, you're just kind of lost. You can't hear any of it.
Yeah. And the hand signals occasionally aren't getting paid attention to.
Right.
That's mostly my fault.
Yeah, well,
But-
because it's normally because your face is over looking at the other screen, looking at your notes, and then
Yeah.
it's like,
It's rough doing the old Zooms. But, yeah, we're back together.
well, we've shared a golf cart now together twice. We're probably going to share a golf cart again this week, a third time.
Yep.
Fuck it, we're together. We're doing the show. That's all there is to it. So,
Yeah.
we are recording at Studio H. Sorry about that. No worries.
That was the vape. I swear to God, it was the vape. Nobody get upset. It's the vape.
We're recording at Studio H just outside our nation's capital. All three of us here live. It's beautiful. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and most importantly, share with your footballing friends. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Sammy, why don't you tell the good people how they can get in touch?
Of course, on all the social medias, it's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We are at DU Football Show. And then dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Excellent. Been appreciating all the correspondence so far. It's been really great. And, got a whole topic this week out of it, too. So it'll be nice.
Yeah, and we'd love you to share with your friends, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Let everybody know. But the biggest thing is I've noticed is if you search Drunkard United on iTunes, doesn't show up.
Oh, got to work on that.
DU Football Show.
Yep.
Search DU Football Show.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, and the more reviews and the more 5 stars gets us further up the charts as well. So that always helps.
Yeah, definitely. Rate and
And-
review.
We're doing well with the downloads. We could do better, but we're doing all right, And now we just need your guys' help to push us a little more forward. And
That's it.
Been fun chatting with you guys over this quarantine time, though. That's for damn sure. So.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Well, Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirits industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Sam, we're finally sharing the same bottle of whiskey again. What are we drinking this week?
So we are drinking Kaiyo Japanese whiskey.
Close. Kaiyo.
Kaiyo. Damn it. For once, you pronounced something
Hey,
correctly, and I did
and you
not.
notice I didn't rub your face in it like you do to me. I just went ahead and gave you a quick help with
that's
correction.
Fine.
Gave you the assist.
I made fun of myself.
It's how teammate should work together, as
No,
opposed to
fuck
going,
that.
"Fuck you, push me out of bounds."
No, fuck that. We could call me the teammate version of this partnership here. I'm the Eric Cantona.
Oh, very
Let's
good.
do that.
Okay.
I'm the cunt.
Okay,
Let's start there.
got it.
So 86 proof Kaiyo Japanese whiskey. Came in this year, number 14 on Whiskey Advocate's Top 20.
Yep.
You can find it for $55 to $60 on the shelf. So this is one of those Mizunara oak whiskeys that come out of Japan. Kind of like that Glendalough 13-year-old one-off that we had.
That was from Ireland. Yep.
Yep. That's a very porous wood. And why don't you give us a little bit on the flavor profile that Mizunara would impart on this whiskey?
Typically, a lot of sandalwood in the nose. It really amps up dessert sweetness, so you get a lot of vanilla, caramel, creme brulee kind of going on in it. And to in comparison to, say, like the Glendalough, which was an Irish whiskey, and although a single malt, this whiskey's a little bit more robust, got a little more smoke to it. So that
does.
sweet smoke is a really nice combination. And this is also referred to as a tablespoon whiskey. Did you write down the notes on that, Sammy, or do you want me to?
did.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me about tablespoon whiskey?
So basically, a tablespoon whiskey is a single malt whiskey that had intentionally a very small amount, some say maybe a tablespoon, of non-single malt whiskey added to it to make it not a single malt anymore.
Precisely.
Probably for tax reasons.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with it.
Yeah. Don't know why else you would do it.
Proprietary, because remember, this is another distillery in Japan selling to this group.
Fair enough.
So, you don't always want to necessarily have your name on that single malt.
Yep.
It's kind of common practice.
But this is actually transferred by bladder on a ship and bottled in Liverpool before it is distributed here in the States.
Yep. So it sees a little bit like Jefferson's, the brand you used to represent as well. A little bit of that ocean time as well.
Yep.
Yeah, really good stuff, man. What do you think?
It's actually very good. I'm surprised. I'm not normally a huge fan of Japanese whiskey. So this one, it's a little bit more robust than most, and it's excellent. I like it.
Yeah, definitely worthy of its ranking in the top 20. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, we actually get to cheers in person.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited.
This does not adhere to the 6-foot distancing guidelines.
Yeah,
Did
we're
you
at
guys-
best 3 feet.
Did you guys get my COVID, safety memo that I sent out?
Shut up, Mr. Government Man. You're not going to tell me what to do. Hit that fucking mute button.
It's a free country. Except with your mute button.
The mute button has
That is-
one authoritative source. That would be me.
That is a flat-out dictatorship.
Hell yeah. I'm a firm believer in a ruling class, especially since I rule. All right, let's get into it. It would appear that there is already a speed bump as some players are asking for a minimum of 3 weeks preparation for now setting up on either June 19th or June 26th start date, which would be Spurs versus United in a kickoff to restart on a Friday Night Lights game. Going to have an official vote this Wednesday, Sam.
Yes, we will have an official vote this Wednesday on moving to kind of getting an idea of the start date, but moving towards contact training. Once contact training happens, you can then start the season a few weeks after that as players become fully fit and get sharp again. So almost like a mini preseason, if you will.
Yeah,
and a lot of these
precisely.
players should have been preparing for the season to restart while they've been in isolation, as you have been allowed to leave the house for exercise.
I know Jack was exercising.
Exercising is right to drink. So, and steal people's shoes. One of someone's pair of shoes.
To wear different shoes and run, it actually adds a different terrain feel. So works out one leg more than the other. He can't let one calf get bigger, so he switches the shoes.
It's all
I
part
got
of
it.
his process. Don't judge him.
All right. But yeah, so then so they'll have that vote. If that vote moves forward, then phase 2 of the plan can begin of Project Restart. And then hopefully we'll get phase 3, which is actually playing some fucking games.
Yeah, what they're basically saying is that you're going to get 5 to 6 weeks to figure out these last 9 to 10 games remaining.
Right.
So there will be doubled up where you play on a Tuesday, Wednesday to a Saturday, Sunday.
Right. Which would also then allow for August to finish the UEFA competitions.
Right.
The Europa League and the Champions League, as they still plan on doing currently. The only thing I did not see is how they plan on finishing the FA Cup at the moment.
Right. Oh, and that was going to be a question I was going to ask you, not necessarily the FA Cup, but when do you start next season?
So this year was supposed to be the Euros. The season was going to be somewhat delayed anyway. So I don't think that's going to be an issue necessarily. I think the problem is going to come in how UEFA treats and the British government then treat those European games.
Right.
Does Manchester City, if they have to go to Germany to play in the say for instance they decide to do neutral venues, they have to go to Germany to play. Does the British government force them to quarantine for 14 days when they get home?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
Right. So can you restart the season at the same time? I don't know. Of course, I think they're the only English team left in the Champions League, right?
Yes.
I believe that's true.
Chelsea's out. Spurs are not out. No, Spurs are out, right?
Spurs are out.
Yeah. Chelsea's out. United's out.
Yeah. United lost.
Yep. They're all out.
Yeah. Everyone's out but City.
Yep. Just
'Cause
City.
Liverpool lost to Atletico while we were there.
What did Liverpool do?
They
Sam?
lost to Atletico.
Okay.
So
what happened?
they lost to Atletico.
So they're not going to be able to win the Champions League.
No,
right?
they aren't.
Okay, I just wanted to hear that again because
So
it really sounds nice.
The thing is if they have to go overseas to play those games, which inevitably they'll have to do one time,
Right.
when they get back, what does the government force them to do? So that's just going to pile up fixtures. The other thing is the Euros from this summer got moved to next summer.
Right.
So next season has to be finished by a certain time.
It's got to be done by May,
Right.
like it normally is.
So then they could proceed with the Euros. It's that part of it's a little up in the air. So I don't know.
Season would have been ending about a week ago. Last week would have been the FA Cup final last weekend, and the
Yeah, I
weekend
think
before
that's
that
right.
would have been
Yep.
the final weekend of the season.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't know. So we'll see. I would imagine they would start in September anyway. Give the players another couple of weeks to train prior to. They'll have to have some sort of a transfer window.
right. Well, there's also already been multiple pops on COVID-19 positive tests as well.
Correct. Not too many, but yeah. And, more than Germany did, but I don't think it's even in the teens.
Right. But it's also that was expected to happen.
Absolutely.
You should have expected that was definitely going to happen.
Yeah. So I think you might just see more midweek games towards the end of next season.
They're going to have to do that.
Yeah, or potentially, instead of like replacing, because the Euros qualification should be complete by this October. There's still, I think, 2 rounds to go. You get that done in the international breaks, and say fuck the international breaks in March.
Yeah, no warm-ups. Sorry.
Yeah,
no
screw all
warm-ups.
that, or screw the international break in November, whatever it was. Like I think it's September and October in it.
Yeah.
So screw the international breaks. Don't do it.
But you got to do those to
You
get the
finish.
qualifying
You
in,
finish
right?
the qualifying rounds. Once
then
that's
cut it
done,
out.
no more international breaks. Allow the clubs to use that time to fill in. I see. They also have the 2 weeks built on for the winter break now.
Yep.
Screw the winter break. You're just gonna have if you have to finish the games, and by the time the Euros happen, then you're gonna have to play the games.
Well, couple that too with the fact that, let's face it, they've had a longer break currently with the COVID shutdown than they would normally have in a off season. They've already had more time off.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
So if people are like, oh, well, they got to play a really long season, it's very daunting on the body. Well, most of these players play year round all the time anyways, especially if they have international duty. And they've got the break right now. They're taking a break. They just finished taking a nice long break.
Right.
They
And
didn't get to go anywhere. They didn't get to go to Dubai, but they had a nice break.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now you have a couple of notable players. N'Golo Kante and Troy Deeney have both come out and flat out said got no interest in coming back.
I don't know why Conte. I didn't see that one, but Deeney has a 4-month-old son.
With a respiratory problem,
Right.
correct?
Yeah, I think was born in January, and does have a respiratory problem. So it's obviously completely understandable that he doesn't want to play.
Yep.
I did not see N'Golo Kante's reason, but that man has one of the strongest work ethics in world football. There's no way that he wouldn't have a legitimate reason for not wanting to come back.
Very true.
Even if it's just, I'm fucking scared. He would be honest about it.
Which is fair.
And that's that to me at least is a valid reason. I mean, no one knows with this thing, and everyone is entitled to their opinion on it unless you're wrong.
If a player says, look, I don't feel confident. I know.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't feel confident coming back to play.
Yep.
Now you need to understand your pay will reflect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you don't want to play, you should not have to play. There's nothing that should force you to do it.
And people have been talked about a clause being inserted into this Project Restart where players can opt out.
When they just say, don't want to do it, don't want to risk it.
The problem is going to run into is what if half of Norwich wants to opt out and they can't play the rest of their games because they don't have a squad to field?
Then pull some youth academy up because you're going to have to play games.
So you're going to force the kids to go out instead?
That or you forfeit games. If you're not going to take the pitch, you forfeit games.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
You still have to be able to field a team. And if you can't field a team, it would apply just like any other rules.
Well, let's get you on the phone with the Premier League and you can make that point.
Heard. Very good. I could work on that for you. Now, the championship has followed suit. We are going to get this season done, obviously recognizing that the point of promotion is just way too much money to walk away from. You have to give those teams the opportunity to get promoted to the Premier League.
Yes.
So that's definitely going to happen as well. The lone holdout, though, now currently, because League Two said we're not going to do it, we're done, is League One. League One is 50-50 down the middle.
Clubs are split completely as to whether or not to finish the season. I think his last name's Fry, the guy that's in charge of the Football League, is pleading for the Premier League to help out the EFL clubs who are going to, especially those in League 1 and 2, who are going to face a tremendous financial problem as a result of all this time off.
Oh, yeah. Well, even if they start playing games again, they're not making any money off those games.
Right.
It's costing them money to do those games.
Exactly.
It could literally decimate their...
It could bankrupt them completely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So and the Premier League so far is held out.
Yeah, that's bad form on the Premier League, because especially considering you look at like the FA Cup and the League Cup games where they work with these teams and they give their teams the gate when they come play in their building. You would think that they would go ahead and bless you, Sammy. Big ol'
Thanks.
sneeze.
I've got some
Producer
Cheetos hand sanitizer for you here,
Look
Graham.
at
Thank
that.
you very much.
Oh, it's
It's
not as
yeah.
thick as the
Neutral
other
grain
kinds.
spirit.
Yeah, it's just
Oh, it's just straight up alcohol.
yeah.
No, it's mixed with soap and stuff like you would make
It
hand
says,
sanitizer.
Do not drink in
Yes.
Because it's yes,
It
it's
was a
safe
lot.
for hands.
Okay,
That's
it was
some
a lot
good old
thinner than I
GNS right
thought
there,
it was
baby.
going to be.
There we go.
Very thin.
All right.
All right, game on.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, like I said, you would think
The
you would,
fucking mute button.
you would think that they already help. Oh my God! Did you just?
Yes.
That's a first, boys and girls. It is a first. Sam Graham has told producer Mel to hit the fucking mute button.
She told me
Yeah.
to carry on very
If you
condescendingly.
guys had read my 3-page memo on new studio COVID policy, this would not be an issue.
My memo is one sentence:
My balls.
hit the fucking mute button. or as our boy Whiskey Dick would so eloquently say, hit the fucking mute button, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
I need that isolated, by the way, so I can just tell you to whiskey it and you can just hit that sound. There's
yeah,
no
I'll get
reason
right
why
on
you
it.
need to be talking right now. Less talking, more mute. All right. So, Sam, like I said, it seems surprising. The Premier League typically helps these clubs, and the right now to be completely radio silent is bad form on their part.
Right. I think part of them holding out is waiting to see if the season actually goes on, if they're going to have to return television money, if they might not have the money to do it if they got to return that.
No.
So I don't think they want to commit to anything until they know their coffers are full.
Right. Precisely.
Is the question. It's also, I mean, as minimal as it is in terms of their budget, it is going to cost them tens of millions of pounds
Yeah.
to not have fans in the stands.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. For those League One and League Two, you need the butts in the seats, because there aren't cameras at very many games. There's only cameras at a few games, and it'll normally be like towards the end of the season. Like when we were out at Pompey, it was because all of League One purposely played on Tuesday night because there's no football on Tuesday night. So it was an opportunity
Right.
for a couple of teams to get on TV and have a little bit of a TV deal. That being said, like teams like Sunderland and Portsmouth. Now, Portsmouth's been down for a while, had gone through administration and everything, and is working their way back up, but they're still a relatively historic club within what is English football.
Mm-hmm.
And then you couple that with Sunderland cannot afford to be in League One another season. They need to get
They
promotion.
need to go up, yeah.
Like championship, at least games get televised. There's at least TV money. There's something.
Right.
You can't keep dwelling away in League Two in a stadium of their size and the expenses that it just costs to run that club. They ain't going to last much longer if that keeps up that way.
No, they won't, especially if they can't find a new backer. And old Stewie's looking on selling, so we'll
And
see
maybe
what
old Mike's looking to buy.
happens. I would shit a brick
Oh,
if that happened. His name is Stuart Donald, right?
Yep, it was Stuart Donald.
Yeah, old Stewie.
Yep.
All right, good. Yeah, so hopefully Mike Ashley buys Sunderland. That would be brilliant. And buys them on a cheap, too, like 11, 12 million out of his $350 million deal, and shows up in a gold-plated Rolls and doesn't give the club a dime. I would fucking die.
Well,
It'd
then-
be absolutely hysterical.
Then all Newcastle fans would love him because he was destroying their bitter
oh,
rivals,
yeah.
you know.
But it would just be hysterical.
Yes, Sammy?
You ended prematurely there. I had something I didn't tell you about.
Okay.
Something we should mention, as per our woke contract.
Okay.
The Women's Super League has decided to close up shop for the season. I don't know if you saw this
Okay, cool. Thank you.
in England. The decision on points per game or just using the current standings is still to be taken, and here's what makes it interesting. Manchester City women are on top with 40 points from 16 games, but Chelsea are in second place on 39 points at 15 games and would have a better points per game average, thus leapfrogging Manchester City for the title. So the title still hangs in the balance. Arsenal women are on 36 points from 15 games, which is annoying because if we were able to play that game in hand, we would be tied with Chelsea and we'd have to share the title. But they're not going to let them play that game, of course. So a little annoying for us, but we understand it. We get it. It's fine.
Right.
And we've won so much in the women's game that we could let somebody else have a turn for once. The Everton women are completely mediocre, just like the men, sitting in 7th place out of 12 teams from 14 games. And after that dig, I'll give you the entire reason I brought this up, is the Liverpool women are dead last in 12th on a dreadful 6 points from 14 games. So that sexist lot clearly only cares about their men's side.
Very well said. I'm glad. Okay. See, at first I was just figuring you were putting it in there to try to work in some pro-Arsenal agenda, but it was also to take a dig at Liverpool. So.
And you.
Oh.
Because y'all are just flat mediocre also. 7th place out of 12 teams. Dead center.
Kind of like the boys' team, too, though.
That's what I'm
isn't it?
saying. Yeah, all of Everton is just blah.
If I recall correctly, a lot of the English Women's World Cup team were all Everton players, and after that World Cup, they all became Chelsea and Arsenal players.
And would they win?
Not what they came in third, right?
Well,
They
as
were
well,
third
I don't
place.
know, but as well, they're known for.
Yeah.
Sometimes you remember second place.
Yeah, they
Most of the time, you only remember the winners.
like a good percentage of that squad was Everton ladies,
Yeah.
and they all ended up going to Arsenal and Chelsea because they're the clubs with a little bit of money to spend
Definitely.
in the Premier League. So
We'll come on to accolades later and why accolades are important.
heard, very nice. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit, since we were already talking about Mr. Mike Ashley, dumpster fire in a fireplace, puking everywhere, just fucking shit show, never ending possible that he is. So no news is good news. No news apparently is good news in the Newcastle takeover. It has been rumored that the league has approved the sale, although there is still nothing confirmed officially.
Right. It's still not being reported widely by everybody. It's a couple of websites are saying that the Premier League has approved it at this point. I think part of the problem with that is most of the news is around Project Restart, and most of the conversations are around Project Restart. Fuck Newcastle's takeover. Nobody cares at the moment. We just want to get back playing football again.
Right. Well, I mean, to the Newcastle fans, they care because they want to hurry up and know that Ashley's out the fucking door.
Exactly.
And they can start doing things. Noticeably clear that it's going to be Stavely as the mouthpiece. Now, do
100%.
we think the Saudi ownership is going to be seen, not heard? Like they'll come to games and that's about it? That's all we're going to hear from the Prince?
If you want to be seen, not heard, use knives.
Heard.
I'll say that. But yes, she is going to be, not guns, Mel, because guns are loud. Got it?
Yes.
So
Give me a thumbs up.
So, no, on a serious note, yes, Amanda Stavely is going to be the one in the press, I believe. You're going to want, everybody's going to want to, in terms of the press, talk to the Saudis. I doubt they will get in front of the camera very often, other than to say something along the lines of lovely performance by the boys today.
Yeah.
Or I hope performances improve soon.
Right.
Well, hopefully they don't say that because that'll lead to a lot of speculation too.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. It'll be just quick one-liners. I don't think they're going to get out and give a fucking, 30-minute, 40-minute
like
press
Joe
conference.
Linton, do not go to a hotel in Turkey. Do not go to a hotel in Turkey.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, an embassy. Do not go to the embassy in Turkey.
Yeah.
Do not go to the embassy in Turkey.
Steve Bruce still auditioning for his job.
Yes.
Still, even though he is contracted the current manager of Newcastle United.
Yep.
And I believe you had something else to say about the management situation.
Rafa being heavily linked. Apparently a little bit of Pochettino as well, but
Rafa come out and said it.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back to Newcastle if they get new owners.
Yeah. So
the dumpster fire continues.
Of course, the continuous carousel of everybody that's going to be coming to the club has
Yeah.
continued. Although this sounds a little more likely to me because I don't think very wealthy clubs that have very valuable assets are going to go, oh, Newcastle now has money, I'm going to sell to them. But the two that they were talking of are ex-Everton youngsters, Ross Barkley and John Stones. Now, Those are ones, honestly, Sam, I could put a little bit of credence in that kind of a rumor because Barkley's not getting time, and especially with the advancement of the young players on Chelsea, he's not going to get time. And Stones is completely out of favor in that defense.
Not consistently, Barkley won't get time. The question is can Barkley's ego sustain that step down? Because it was his ego that made him leave Everton in the first place.
Yeah, I think he'll appreciate playing. You see that a lot with players when they go up and then they discover, oh, shit, I don't play at all. And
why hasn't he yet? He's been there for like 4 years.
Changes of managers and the like, and he seems to get playing time right at the right time each time with them.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I would honestly, I would tip him more for somebody that is on the cusp. You know, somebody like even a Sheffield United, even though he's not that industrious, he could be that playmaker in that team.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they, seem to have a plan and an idea as to how to perform as they currently sit in the Europa League places. Where Newcastle just, we call them a dumpster fire, and they are. And what I didn't realize was that dumpster contained gasoline and turpentine also. So now that thing is about to fucking explode. And with all the people linked to the club, honestly, only maybe 2% of those players are actually in the running for potentially even going there in the first place. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I see Ross Barkley. I think he's got a grandiose view of himself, unlike Jack Rodwell, who it was very plain to see was only after money, and that was it.
Right.
I think Barkley's got a grandiose view of himself, and I think he'll want to stay at the biggest club he can. And he'll happily be a bit part player versus going down and being the main guy and getting called out week in, week out by the press for underperforming at a shit team.
Right. Well, one would say that the money's not going to make them a shit team anymore. Rafa's not going to make them a shit team
That's
anymore.
true. But I think his ego will wait for 2 seasons when they finish in 6th or finish
and then
in 8th,
go play.
and then make that jump.
Yeah, then he'll be too old and they won't want him.
Correct.
No.
And then he will have missed the boat.
I would say, honestly, I think Stones would actually be a very good fit for that team.
I think he would too.
Plays in a 3-back system, likes to control the ball with his feet. I think the pressures of playing for City have gotten to him because he's prone to the often mistake. Like he'll make 1 or 2 mistakes a game. Unfortunately, at a place like City, you're not allowed to make 1 mistake a game.
Right.
You're not allowed to.
Correct.
Especially if that 1 mistake equates for goal. And he may have only made 4 mistakes in a season that counted for 4 goals, but that's it. It's unacceptable.
Look how much Claudio Bravo's played in the last season and a half.
Yeah, precisely. Precisely.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take a little bit of time to chat about a few things going on in the DU community, Sammy.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes.
So first one I want to say is had a lovely patio time this week talking with Roger from the Carolina Toffees. That was a really great night.
It was a great night. No, it was a great night. It was a long night. And it made for an even longer round of golf on Sunday.
Oh, God, did it ever. Yeah,
that was tough.
That was a nice, long patio time. But definitely, guys, if we're going to keep doing them on Saturdays right now, so keep joining us. And we just sit around and bullshit about everybody's teams and smoke some cigars and drink a little whiskey and have a good time and sometimes stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning chatting with people.
Yep.
Now, the big one. In the Drunkard United FC closed group on yesterday, one Mr. J Business put up the following.
J Bullshit, as I like to call him.
It was happy birthday to Eric Canton, and he said, since Ken is too afraid to share his post in this group, I will. Bow to your king, Prince Terrier.
No.
Go ahead, Sammy.
All right. Let's start. Where should we start? Let's start with appearances, goals for both club and country. Okay?
Okay.
Eric Cantona, club appearances 439, goals 165, appearances for his country 45 appearances with 20 goals for a grand total of 185 career goals.
Cool.
Okay? Thierry Henry, 581 appearances, 284 goals.
Not even in the top 20 for appearances in the Premier League. There's 7 players from United that have more appearances than him. Go
Who?
ahead. I can pull them all up for you.
No, of who?
Not Cantona. I'm just talking about Manchester United in general, just to fuck with you.
More than Cantona?
No, more than Henry.
More than Henry, right. But we're comparing 2 specific players based on a delusional Trump tweet in
It doesn't matter.
in our
Doesn't
DU
matter.
page here. Oh, it matters. It matters big time.
And goals.
284 goals.
Goals. He was number 6 on the all-time list.
Of where?
For the Premier League, right?
Who?
Henry,
Yeah.
number 6. That's not number 1, is it?
No,
it's
but
not number 2 or number 3
but it's
either,
a
which are
lot
both
higher.
Manchester United players,
But
right?
it's a lot higher. It's number 2 on the foreign assets list.
He's not even in the top 10 for assist. And God, Wayne Rooney's top 10 in both assist and goals. So clearly, I mean, maybe not Cantona, but Rooney's clearly a better player than Henry.
So 228 goals for Arsenal, which is more than Eric Cantona got in his entire fucking career. But 284 goals overall for his club and for his country. Thierry Henry had 128 appearances for 51 goals and finished as France's all-time leading goal scorer. So that's just on that. Which
also helped them cheat to get into a World Cup because he's a cheater.
Which would be
Because he used his hand against Ireland and
it's the
knocked it into the
referee's
goal.
responsibility to make the call, my friend.
Did he or did he not use his hand and knock the ball
It's
into
the
the goal?
referee's
Did
job.
he not cheat?
What do
He
we always
cheated.
say?
He
Fuck
cheated,
you,
didn't
fuck
he?
you, fuck you,
He
fuck
cheated.
you. Listen, what's the fucking, what do we always say? Play to the goddamn whistle, which he had the wherewithal to do, and it sent Ireland crashing out. Unfortunate. It's the referee's job to call it. He fell short of doing his job. Thierry Henry did his. Something Eric Cantona couldn't seem to stay on the field to do.
Sounds like
because he was
proof-
too busy drop kicking fucking fans.
Sounds like proof reason right there why they had to invent VAR because Thierry Henry's a cheat. I heard it here.
What it sounds like is Eric Cantona should have been arrested for what he did against Crystal Palace that day.
Yep, big old cheat. And by the way, most importantly, how many goals did Henry score in Cup finals?
Doesn't matter. He's played in cup finals, and Eric Cantona hasn't.
He's played in 9 Cup finals. He has tallied a total, a big, whopping
0 goals.
goose egg.
Yeah,
0
that's okay.
goals.
Henry puts teams on his back and gets them to finals.
Just can't help him win titles.
That's all right. Except we won the same amount of doubles as Eric Cantona.
How's the Champions League going for Henry? Oh, that's right. He had to
he-
pull a Kevin Durant and go join the team that beat him and knocked him out of the last year's. His last year at Arsenal, it was Barcelona that knocked him out, wasn't it?
No. Well, yes, in the quarters.
Yes, thank you.
They beat him in the final.
Can't beat him, join him. Got it. Durant all day. I feel you. Just like Durant going to the
Anyway.
Golden State Warriors. All good. Go ahead.
Anyway, Thierry Henry's actually won a Champions League. Eric Cantona has not.
Yeah, but not with Arsenal.
Doesn't matter. Not the point. So let's go back.
How many Champions League has Arsenal won?
None. And we're not comparing the clubs. We're comparing
United's
these two
won
players.
a lot of them, haven't they?
All right, can I finish this?
Please go ahead. You're all
Can
good.
I
man.
finish this?
Go to town. You're all good.
Major trophies for Eric Cantona, 10. Shit trophies, 5. Major trophies for Thierry Henry, 13, with 4 shit trophies. Those major trophies do include a Euros, a World Cup, and a Champions League. The 3 trophies most coveted by European-based players. Eric Cantona did not win those at all. Eric Cantona, I don't even believe, played in a World Cup.
In 8 years, how many titles did Arsenal win? 2. In that same 4 out of 5 years, Cantona and Manchester United won the title, and probably, arguably, could have won all 5 of them. Lost one of them.
Well,
but won by a
arguably,
point.
did they win it, though?
They won 4 out of 5.
But did they win the 5th? So they arguably fucking didn't.
Okay, so
Okay?
5. But hold
End
on
of
here.
story.
But hold on here. 4 Premier League titles is more than 2 Premier League titles, right?
Doesn't matter.
Prince is bound to the king. I'm convinced.
Well, no,
clearly.
here we go. 10 major trophies. Henry has 13. Overall trophies, if you count the shit ones, Cantona has 15. Henry has 17. So, yep, Henry, bow to the... Exactly right. The King Henry, Eric Cantona, bow to him. And know
Mel.
your fucking place.
Mel. It's actually kind of fun.
Now,
You see
here
the
we
vein?
go.
You see the vein? He's got the vein. He's
Now
got
here-
the vein.
now
It's
here
so
we go.
awesome. It's so great.
Let's move on to individual awards. I'm going to just list real quick Eric Cantona so you can see how fast it goes.
Cool. Okay.
Now, shut the fuck up for this.
Okay.
A Ballon d'Or third place finish once. A PFA Players Player of the Year once. A PFA Premier League Team of the Year once. a PFA Team of the Century, a Premier League Player of the Month once, PL Top Assist twice, and the Football Writers Association Player of the Year once. Ready for Henri's? Ballon d'Or runner-up once. Third place once. Well, he was in the conversation more than Cantona. FIFA World Player of the Year Silver Award twice. Cantona didn't win any. Professional Football Association Players Player of the Year twice. Once more than Cantona. PFA PL Team of the Year 6 times. 4 times more than Cantona. PFA Team of the Century, same accolade. PFA Player of the Season twice to Cantona's once. Actually, Cantona never won the PFA Player of the Year. Sorry. So 2 more than him. Football Writers Association Player of the Year 3 fucking times. 3 times more than Cantona. Premier League Golden Boot 4 times. Top Assist Provider once, which Cantona did have 1 more than that. Premier League Player of the Month 4 times. The European Golden Boot twice, and the UEFA Team of the Year 5 times, which Cantona was never mentioned in. Sorry if it took up too much time to list Thierry Henry's CV. And there were many more awards for both players that I didn't deem impressive. They were like little bullshit awards. But also, Thierry Henry made French Footballer of the Year 5 times to Cantona's once. So his own country didn't even like him.
Oh, you were talking.
Yep, I was.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It's all right. The masses
kind of
now have the information, my friend. The masses have the information. This is fake news that they shared on my beloved page. And both of these two. Oh, also, Wikipedia lists fucking Cantona's job, yeah, as an actor first before footballer. It was brought to my attention that Wikipedia is not a valid source. I said, fine, you're right, except for the fact that I think it's a more telling situation that Eric Cantona himself can edit it and chose not to. So what does he rate being more, an actor or a former professional footballer?
I think he rates himself being a badass motherfucker.
Oh, that's right.
And
And while Thierry Henry was winning the World Cup, Eric Cantona played for the France beach team. Congratulations.
What was he doing while Henry was cheating to help France advance?
Jerking off, making another terrible indie film.
So as I told you, 9 cup finals, 0 goals for Henry. Let's go ahead and just do a quick comparison. Didier Drogba, striker of
We're not talking about Drogba. Not part of the conversation.
10 goals in 10 finals.
Mel, cut that out. We're not talking about that.
Okay, then
They're not comparing him.
Let's talk about him. In 23 appearances against Manchester United, 5 Champions League games, Thierry Henry and Arsenal were 1, 3 losses, 1 draw. He had 0 goals in those games.
In the Champions League, okay.
In 14 Premier League games, Arsenal won 3, lost 5, and drew 6. He had only 8 goals in those 14 games.
Okay.
In the Community Shield, they were 1.
You have Cantona's record for those games?
No, I just got
Well, then there's
Henry.
nothing to fucking compare
My job
to.
is to talk to Henry.
Nah,
That's it.
there's nothing to compare. You don't have a job in this.
Yeah, 23
I listed everything that
appearances.
was said.
In 23 appearances, there was 6 wins. It's cute that I let you talk. I let you go on for a diatribe of at least a good 20 minutes.
Actually,
there.
the entire first part of it, all you did was talk shit.
23 appearances with 6 wins, 8 losses, 9 draws, and only 9 goals in 23 appearances against Manchester United. So, and I gotta say, I'm pretty convinced by everything that the guys told me. I think definitely Henry is a second-class citizen to the ballerness that is Eric Cantona.
Did Eric Cantona star in a movie called Porn in the Hood?
Sounds like Eric Cantona.
His
greatest ever achievement, Eric Cantona's greatest ever achievement, okay,
was being a smooth-ass motherfucking pimp that loves the pussy.
No, was starting off the Joga
Got him.
Bonito commercials for Nike. That was his greatest ever achievement. And the last thing I want to say, and I know you can get behind this, and this is the nail in the coffin. This is case closed, okay? Beyond even the trophies of 17 to 15, beyond the trophy and the 3 most coveted prizes in all of world football, beyond that stat that's in Thierry Henry's favor, the one thing Thierry Henry never did was play for fucking Leeds.
We're not. No,
I'm done, bitch. That's
no,
it.
There's no
That's
pause.
I told you. Nail in the
going-
fucking coffin. It's done.
We're going into the next part, but you also have proven to me now that no, because we're still not done talking. Remember, we got to talk about Rice and his fucking
That's another section.
No,
isn't
it's
it?
not a whole section. It's
Yes.
because Mike is part of this.
2012, the movie's called Porn in the Hood, and he played the football coach.
Basically,
I
Eric
speak
Cantona is the
French.
footballing
I will
version
need
of
to-
Screech.
I will need to look this one up. Like, he said over 30 movies.
He's a badass motherfucker, is what
Holy
he is.
shit.
You need to recognize it.
I
You
would
don't
need to
recognize
watch
he's
some
going to
of
drop
this.
kick you in the fucking chest,
Yeah, find me.
break your fucking ribs.
Come
you won't
here.
be able to handle it.
Is the movie looking for Eric about Eric? I don't know, but
Email
I
the-
want to look.
Email the show, Canton. I'll give you my address.
So, but the other thing, since we're talking about all the numbers, I've come to the realization that Wayne Rooney's a greater player than Thierry Henry then, because he's got better stats, he's got more championships, he's got more titles, he's got more accolades. So, I mean, the only thing he doesn't have is the international stage, and that's just because, well, let's face it, England sucks in the international stage. But he also didn't have to cheat and handball a ball in to make sure his team got qualifying for the World Cup.
Wayne Rooney was ruined by the English media for his international career. Well, the whole team was ruined. Wayne Rooney had a glittering international career, but it was just without any fucking trophies. He is a great player, and he is one of the best forwards that has ever graced the Premiership.
Wow, that took a lot of restraint for Sam to say that through his teeth.
I didn't say he was better than Henry.
Stats would say he is.
Maybe 250 goals for Man U, wasn't it?
All right, let's
Just
move on.
over that?
Let's move on to
Sure.
something far more important.
Henry's never played in the championship
because
either.
this, frankly, I just didn't really give a shit about. I reached out to all the boys and said, give me
Cunts. You said
give me,
cunts wrong.
Give me material. Give me material. I want to fuck with Graham. Yes,
Can you feel that?
the vibrating of the table. Yeah,
That's his leg.
yeah, I know. He's all fired. I told you the vein. For once, I get pleasure of seeing somebody else
Let
with
me
the
tell
fucking
you.
vein.
Wow.
Let me tell you something.
Like, his cheeks are
Let me
red.
tell
Like,
you
I can
something.
feel it. It's like, I'm kind of scared.
If you want to come at King Henry, you better fucking come correct. And doing it with Eric Cantona ain't the fucking way, mate. Let me tell you that.
Okay.
Wayne Rooney, you actually have an argument. There are statistical evidence to prove that he may or may not be better player than Thierry Henry
Yeah.
or more valuable to the Premier League or what have you. There is not a fucking snowball's chance in fucking hell that Eric Cantona can even sit at the same table as Thierry Henry at the Professional Footballers Association luncheon every year. Okay.
Now we need to get to important things because the beauty of having a show with a national audience is meaning that you can make fun of your friends at their expense and let the whole country hear about it.
World friend. We're international, mate.
Yes, that's
Don't-
right.
Don't sell us short.
Our world friends. Yeah, but our world friends might dress like this, so I'd
We
be a
are
little
the world,
concerned.
okay?
Sam, what do I often talk to you when you wear your 3/4 lengths warm-up pants? What do I normally say to you?
I don't. It's the same jibe every time, but I've just learned to block it out. I don't remember.
You know, typically ask you if they come in ladies' sizes.
They
or-
come in men's sizes.
Did you
Yeah.
bring your balls with you today? All that good kind of stuff,
Yes,
right?
very sexist things, much like Liverpool's women's.
Mike Rice was wearing Lululemon pants in public. He was wearing Lululemon pants in public. I'm serious.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's a grown-ass man. He's a grown-ass man.
Houston's blowing his load on this one. So
I needed to.
I complimented his girlfriend Monica. I complimented her pants because I have a pair just like them. They're the Fabletics. Which
I
is,
saw Monica's pants.
Yeah,
They look nice as well.
great pants. And she goes, "Oh yeah, Lululemon." And then she throws Mike under the bus. Mike's also wearing Lululemon. Isn't your whole outfit Lululemon, Mike?
And
Whoa.
it's not like the 3/4 lengths that are like open. It's the ones with like the scrunchy
joggers.
that tightens to the calf.
Tapered.
Even. Yes.
Yeah, the tapered
But with
joggers.
But you know how like
Oh, they have that extra elastic piece
Yeah,
at the
the
bottom,
elastic-
like
the-
jogger pants.
how's the fucking elastic thing?
Ooh, that's a no-no there, Miguel.
So
I would have
if-
respected him more had he worn a male romper. Okay?
because at least then it would have been irony.
Yeah. It's his birthday, bitches.
Yes.
Well, he did celebrate for 3 days.
Yes, Rice did have a birthday weekend. Now, here's the thing. If you were in your 20s and you told me, hey, I wear Lululemon, I'd be like, all right, fine, different time frame, whatever. Mike's a grown-ass man like me, man. Mike's in his 40s. He's wearing fucking Lululemon.
Yep.
I'm at a loss for words. I really am.
You know what? You know what I'm going to say? And then I'll let you tidy this one up. We're all lucky that schools are closed currently.
Those pants, perhaps for a younger man, no?
No, I'm just saying that now appears to me as someone that might want to hang out in a school. A man wearing Lululemon skin-tight joggers.
Yep,
I'm out.
That's
Can't
exactly
deal
it.
with it. Can't deal with it.
Well, lovely. Oh, by the way, Mike, happy birthday today. It's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time.
The fucking sluts let me down again.
Yes, they did.
God damn it. I had a Borussia Dortmund sluts double, and they tied Rub Rest 1-1.
I just want to point out how weird my news feed has become because now I am getting Belarusian football articles. Like CNN's covering it now.
Oh, yeah.
ESPN. It's now Belarusian has gone mainstream.
Well, I can't remember if I think ESPN's trying to work out a deal for the Korean Soccer League right now.
Yeah, to try to get them on
Luckily,
TV.
they hadn't done it yet and
With or
didn't catch
without
the
the
sex
fans.
dolls.
Dude, that story everywhere
Well,
picked it up.
they got fined a ton of money.
That's
FC
ridiculous.
Sold.
Who cares? It's such a nothing story. It was like $80,000.
It's nothing else to talk about. No.
yeah.
There's no other sports to really cover except for that Korean baseball
Again.
and
some
what's it called?
skins,
Bundesliga
and
now.
then some skins golf. That is just not even.
Did you see
It's
Tom
all
Brady
immature.
split his pants?
No. We played our round of golf. I didn't come back and watch any of it.
I didn't see any of it either. It was shared on Twitter. He bent down. He knocked a ball in an approach shot from 100 yards, straight in a hole. It was brilliant. Goes down to pick it up, split his pants. Fantastic. What was really cool about it, though, is they had live mics in the cart.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, Charles Barkley was talking shit because he was having a bad game, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And so, right after Charles Barkley was talking shit, Tom Brady did that. And as he's putting his club back in the bag, I was like, hey, Chuck, shut your mouth, Chuck. Just talking shit back to him. That was pretty good to hear all them banter and do that. That
It's
was
great.
nice.
It's great that golf reminds you. You hit a hole in one and then you split your fucking pants.
Yeah.
Like just golf constantly remembering to say, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Just
yeah.
go fuck yourself. All right,
so anyway, this week-
you missed. Pat hit. Taylor missed as well. So what are you doing this week?
This week, I'm going for another double, a big one.
Okay.
Big double. First, I've got Dortmund beating Bayern tonight, because this
Okay.
comes out on Tuesday. Tonight.
Yep.
Okay. And then at the weekend, I've got Hoffenheim to beat Mainz.
Okay.
Because what we've seen of Mainz over the last 2 weeks is they were not ready to come back yet.
No, they are not
Their
doing well.
defense is absolute shite.
No, do so well right now.
Yeah. So I've got Dortmund to beat Bayern and Hoffenheim to beat Mainz at the weekend. That will bring me a cool 776.
All right. Very good.
Yep.
Now, pardon me. He should
I'm
be
still
feeling.
fucking hot from that can.
He should be feeling pretty good about himself because he won $30 off of us in Nassau this weekend. Might as well go to our good friend.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Riding the favorite train as he hit with I think it was Dortmund last week. So I'm just going to keep riding the favorites till I don't hit. So Wolfsburg is playing the favorite Leverkusen minus a half goal at 160. I'll risk the 160 to win 100. I'm off to bed to get rid of this hangover. I might have celebrated a little too much last night after having that great round of golf together. I had a blast. Can't wait to tee it up with you guys again. That prick took us to a really fucking hard course and then proceeded to shoot like an 85, where we
Yes.
both shot like damn near close to a $120.
Yeah, so you
And then
actually
took our money.
You were a 118. I was a 119.
No, 115. You had 115. You
Or
beat me.
115. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. All right, so let's see. So we took. So I'm gonna do mine because it's I'm gonna do mine because that was the lower of the two. So 79 divided by 115. I only paid 68.6 cents per stroke.
Okay.
Okay. Pat shot an 85, right?
Right, 85.
No.
Admit on the fly.
Yep. It is admin on the fly because I just flip-flopped the numerator and denominator of what I needed to do here.
Look at Sam with the big words.
He paid 92.9 cents per stroke. So
You got more swings.
I got more value.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how about the swings where you just club the club into the ground and hurt your arm because you smack it into the ground, or the ball
Actually,
that goes
a
into
lot
the
of
tree?
a lot of those shots. There's only one time it actually hurt. The ground was fairly soft, to be fair.
Yeah.
I cut through it pretty well. It was not a whole lot of resistance.
Well, time to get on to our proxy.
Big Sam's Proxy. Taylor's Lock of the Week.
How much did we pay for that?
Editing. Yes, that's been you. This is the first time you got to hear it live.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like Taylor's email has some redacted portions.
Yes, I'm like the two redheaded twins in Good Morning Vietnam with the red pens, just going over top of it. Yeah, it's like, don't need to put in his joke about he's lost. He lost his fucking bet. So he's down $26 heading into the week of the two biggest games in world football. Now, Tuesday has, of course, Bayern heading to Dortmund. And he said, given both teams are red hot since the start, they've been winning all their games, he says he's going to give the nod to the home team. So he's going with Dortmund as well, like you are. Then,
That's a guaranteed loss then.
next Sunday, the whole of Eastern Europe shuts down as all eyes will be ogling the biggest match in the Belarusian Premier League, the Brest Derby. I do not know much of the magnitude of this match and if it has a fancy name, but in his own little diluted world of junior high maturity, he has decided to call it Da Plastico.
I was going to go with the Brazier Derby because there's two breasts.
Oh, he did this whole thing about augmentation and stuff like that. We edited that. No, too many jokes. We went ahead and got rid of that one. Tits and giggles aside, Ruh has done me wrong too many times, so I got to go with the visitors. I've got 100 for Dortmund to win, parlayed with Dynamo Brest to win at plus 545. Thanks again, guys. And reminder, at this point, it's just important that we all try our best and have fun. No, it's not. You're disappointing me. You're my proxy. You should be doing better, and you should be fucking winning. Stop disappointing me.
Spoken like a true Everton supporter.
Yeah, well, that's
Just give it your all.
Yeah, well, that's not good enough, damn it. I expect better.
Meh.
All right, well, that was a fun little show.
It was a fun show, and I assume you're going to ask me for my parting words now.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to do any more Canton.
I'm not. I want Ken and JB to know that while I did and will continue to call you cunts, it's out of love.
John and Rice, too.
Oh, they got in on it?
Oh, yeah, they were in on it,
They're
too.
cunts also. Okay. But it's out of love. I appreciate the banter, although next time come correct with somebody like Wayne Rooney. Or to a lesser extent, because actually it's not correct at all, but Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Well, that one
come
was
correct with Didier Drogba. That
one was funny with Van Nistelrooy because they were like, oh, yeah, he's a great goal scorer. And I'm like, fucking Yakubu for Everton scored the same number of Premier League goals as he has.
100%. I'm aware. But Van Nistelrooy actually had a very particular grudge with Henry.
Mm-hmm.
That if he ran, they both played at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, he would run into the locker room had he scored to see if Henry scored or not.
Too funny.
Oftentimes he had.
Now,
so he was left bitterly disappointed.
Now, the one thing I always love about Yakubu is whenever you talk about Yakubu, you always got to say his tagline. You remember it, Sammy?
No.
Feed the yak and he will score.
Yeah. I do remember it now. Actually, former Portsmouth player as well.
Yes, he was.
Talking about
Portsmouth.
Yeah, talking about Portsmouth prestige. Now that we've addressed that, and I let them know that I'm still friends with them, and I don't hold any grudges for them being wrong, and I do still love them and like them as friends.
He called you cunts. He hates you.
And I appreciate your banter. I said, but I did it lovingly.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I did want to say before I say goodnight is just take this Memorial Day. Hope everybody got a chance to reflect. Since everything shut down and slowed down, hope everybody got a chance to reflect on all of the service members that the United States has lost over the years in the many wars that we've fought. Some worth it, some not so worth it. But regardless, the American military has always answered the call, and inevitably we have always lost people along the way. And this day was for them, and I hope people start to realize that. It's not all about hamburgers and hot dogs. It is about the appreciating the solemn sacrifice that so many have made for our wonderful country.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Definitely. You're right. We all forget it, and we also always forget. There's always the ballyhoo of idiots that thank any actively serving military member today. And it's like,
Well, I mean, I appreciate them not
wrong.
dying. Yeah, no, that's
We're
good.
glad you're not dead,
Yeah.
but it's not what it's about.
Nope.
That's Veterans Day. That's when we thank the active guys.
Correct.
Or the ones that have served before that are still with us.
And as so many of the ones still alive say to the ones that have fallen, till Valhalla.
Absolutely. Next up, boys and girls, is injury time. More of the same. Just us yelling and screaming. I'm sure Sam is going to fucking lose his mind over the whole bloodbath that was his argument that was proven completely wrong, and that Henry
Completely
is
correct.
not that pretty much a mediocre player.
You said correct.
Highly
wrong.
overrated.
You also said excellent wrong.
All right, so how do people find our Patreon page?
Sure. They find it at www.patreon.com/DUFootballShow. There's multiple tiers, as we always tell you. You do get some cool stuff along with it. The main thing, though, is you get this wonderful extra content that we do where all the booze from the main show is flowing through our veins, coursing through our veins, and we're a little looser, if you can imagine that. So definitely give us money. I mean, check it out.
Especially when my when my lovely wife and producer, Melissa, tends to let the mics go a little too long, and it's a 2-hour show, and Houston guy...
Yeah.
Both dumb.
Jump, bitch.
Jump, bitch. All right.
Those that know.
Exactly. Hey, producer Mel. You can unmute yourself.
Yes.
Hell of a job tonight. Go ahead and mute
Aw.
yourself again.
What a dick.
Till next week, boys and girls.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
From the United